Welcome back to We Bought a Mic, talking FernGully : The Last Rainforest. My name's Ernest.
Oil, smog, mother's milk. My name's Hunter.
Is that from your new one-man show?
Yeah, that's I'm gonna do all the characters of FernGully, a dramatic reenactment.
And I'm
Just
Drew.
a taste.
And this movie just really shook my whole life up.
First time.
Never seen it. I don't like. I've come to learn like the last week that apparently every kid saw this in school when they were little.
Well, I definitely have a lot of it burned into my memory, but not as much as our guest, I think, changed anyone's life, right?
Hi.
Welcome. It's Lee.
I brought my seeds.
You brought the
Share
seeds.
with you.
So, Lee, how old were you whenever you first saw FernGully? Did you see this at like a super young age?
I had maybe 10 VHSs that were somewhat for kids, maybe. And this was one of them. I feel like this was a genuine idea to inspire people of all ages, but by primarily youth, to have a relationship with nature that was genuine. It's written in the script. I think sometimes when I watch things that try to be spiritual in nature, it comes off really corny, or they rip off cultural things that are significant to certain, people, and they don't properly articulate the why behind it. And I think this was written very well. I think it kind of resonated with you that it's our responsibility to take care of our surroundings, but yet we're also part of the death, but that's a natural process. Death and life is a symbiotic relationship. The smog evil is really supposed to be greed and capitalism, but basically
very a very symbolic villain.
right. So this smog thing comes and destroys parts of the forest, and the humans run away, and so these fairies have been living away from humans, and they think humans gone extinct, until Crysta, the main fairy, who is damn. So she goes above the canopy, which is not allowed.
You don't do that.
You're not allowed.
No.
You do not go above
That's
the
the
canopy.
one thing.
I don't think you're
There's
allowed to do that.
You look delicious, so a hawk is gonna want to scoop that ass.
Dude, Hawk sees a dump truck like that, you're diving in.
Yeah.
And that was our first clue as to how small these fairies are.
Right.
Because
Which does, I feel change a little bit.
Yeah.
I do. Well, because in that case, based on the size that we see them at other times, was that just a pigeon? We're led to believe that's
probably
a
a small
giant
falcon.
hawk.
it looked like a big ass bird of prey.
But then
yeah.
there's also one moment where they are the size of a grain of rice when they're standing next to a squirrel. So
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
really know what's going on there.
Okay, so she goes above the canopy, almost gets her ass cut, and then she realizes that there was some smoke up there, finds out that the forest is being ruined, and she interacts with this freaking creepy guy,
Lumberjack.
Zach, who's a lumberjack.
I mean, this man is a blue collar worker. He's doing his goddamn God-given right.
By the
Right.
way,
to do his job.
I don't think we mentioned yet. You might be imagining this all happening in the Amazon. It's happening in Australia.
This guy, Zach, is making all the moves. Everybody thinks he's cool. He's getting the people to dance. They've never heard music before, literally Footloose.
They've never heard music before.
They've never heard music before, and he's rocking their world. He's falling in love with her. She's falling in love with him. They find out humans are the reason why the forest is dying.
Yeah, and he's like, can I still fuck you?
Right. And he's like, I want to stay for one more day. And she's like, you're a traitor. They realize that the humans released this evil smug thing from this tree, and now it's out to kill them all. And Robin Williams does a rap.
Robin Williams does a rap.
Robin Williams raps. That's very early on in the movie.
Right. But
He does.
He's actually, is he the only character? Well, it's him and then the lizard guy are the only characters who sing.
He also. It's very jarring because, in a good way, because it's the first song.
Right.
So if you know nothing like me, I didn't
There's
know
no
there were
opening
going
number,
To,
yeah.
I didn't know there were going to be songs, and
No,
then
well,
it's just balls deep into
There
an
is that
insane
one,
rap.
There's that one song that plays right whenever Krista's going out and mingering among everybody that has like the nice horn line.
Yeah.
That was definitely like covered by a couple of like local ska bands back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, we can definitely do this horn line.
Okay.
But this is the first time that you hear a character sing.
Batty is losing his mind, and he's trying to be the canary in the coal mine to warn everyone about humans.
But he's like, he's like brain fried, like from being tested on so much. Like,
Right.
so that leaves room for Robin Williams to be spastic and crazy and like epic.
He does this thing. He comes in super like manic mode, just like doing all kinds
really,
of crazy voices.
really crazy. Yeah.
It's great.
It's not supposed to be like a silly comedy
I
movie,
do-
but he is the silly comedy character, but it's just the one. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I
Right.
do wonder like how much of this movie did they tell Robin like what his character was, and how much of it was just full Robin
Riffing.
improvised riffing and stuff?
Yeah.
Because they're just like, they probably put him in the booth and they're just like, all right, Robin, so this is the central message that we want you to get across. You've been experimented on, so you have like radio waves going
So
through
you can
your
just
brain.
go off
So just
at
go
any
do
point.
your tangents of whatever you want to do, and then they just kind of stitch together a few of his little rants and ramblings. to
Make
it
sure
make
you throw
sense.
in a couple of like topical pop culture references in there. Just whatever's
course.
off the dome.
Yeah.
But like I connected so much more to everything else
Everything
that doesn't have anything
non-Robin.
else to do with Batty. And every time it cuts to Batty, I'm like, all right, I get this is a kid's movie and we gotta keep it light. But it feels kind of like a little separate to like what the core of this movie is trying to do.
Right. Well, I got the impression that these fairies are supposed to be very whimsical and very in touch with nature, and like, yeah, they flirt because they're horny a little bit, but like they're not really laughing out loud, or like they're kind of robotic in a way because they're just kind of like these spiritual entities that just kind of float around. Whereas like Batty comes in, he's been totally influenced by humans, and so his energy is supposed to be off-putting in comparison to their very scenic, calm kind of vibes.
Right.
But then it also helps create that balance too of like a little bit of shock, because you're supposed to feel bad for Batty. You're supposed to feel like, oh my God, humans did this to him. Like, you're not supposed to look at him and be like, hey, I want to go have a beer with Batty.
I do.
Yeah, it
No.
doesn't. It doesn't
I do.
that, in that way, like it's kind of a character failure a little bit, because I never like especially like as a kid, I'm never drawing that connection of like, oh yeah, no, he was like tortured by humans.
Oh,
like
the
I
rap. The rap is really sad.
He does a whole rap about
he doesn't
it.
rap about it, but as a
The whole
kid,
thing.
as a kid, you aren't listening to like what he's saying in
Right.
the rap.
No, I totally didn't. As a kid, I didn't understand what animal testing was or why they would even do it. So like when they showed that, I didn't
Yeah, it
understand
looks
They
like
connect the dots of like, oh,
the way
this is
he's
bad,
designed,
but they're-
it looks like he has like a plunger in his head, like, and that's like a node from like testing, like a electronic thing.
Right.
But it, yeah,
But you're like, haha, he sounds like Radio Man. This
Right.
guy fun.
Right.
Animal testing good.
Okay. Let's talk about some bad
Can
parts
we,
of this
no,
movie.
wait.
First of all,
can we
they-
talk about the lip bite scene, which is just like I don't
Okay,
know how
yes,
people haven't
yes.
talked about this scene where
She's
they
don't know
shrink,
how people haven't
shrink down little man, and like
They
everybody
shrink
should be
him.
talking about him. They shrink him down so he's just a little man.
She starts
And-
grabbing his knife and his wallet.
Yeah, and they're just like, no, humans are cutting down trees. You wouldn't do that, would you? And then bites her lip and like it makes her eyes real big and flutters them. And it's like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are you trying to say right now, animators?
So I have to say, because the one thing that did put me off, being that we went through and we're still going through this huge Me Too movement kind of era, like they over sexualize the fuck out of that fairy unlike anything I've ever seen. And then they make the guy so stupid. Just
Yeah, he
like so dumb. I just feel bad. I feel like, is our society like a replication of like what we see on TV? Like, did we do something to our kids and to our generation by showing them like, I'm a guy, so like I'm just gonna like be like totally like this, dude.
it was, they call it
Look.
Tim Allen syndrome.
As Batty says, as Batty says at one point, like, truth might not always make you friends, but it can help you influence people.
He makes a Dale Carnegie reference.
Right. So-
Parents love
One
that.
thing I wanted to say on what you just said, Lee, though, is that like he's trying to mac on her, and like the most insane shit in his life just
Yeah,
happened
he
to
just
him.
got shrunk down to fairy size. He's like the size of like a fucking acorn, and he's just like,
Let me
I
get some of
gotta
that.
fuck though. Like while I'm down here, yo.
Yeah, immediately horny. How long do you think it would take you? This leads into
is
the
the
segment that
segment,
it's a segment called Fellas WYD,
What would
in
you
which
do?
I want to bring this back. Yeah, in which we each break down what we would do if that happened to
So
us.
here's the thing: am I still married in this situation? Because the answer is the same regardless.
Right.
It's faster. It's faster than
With
even
Gaia,
this guy
because
does.
Gaia's like, hey, go hit on her.
Yeah, Gaia's like, come on, get her in here. Can I get shrunk down too?
What if what
get
if
up in this.
What if the guy is married and he's hitting on this fairy? That's messed
Well,
up.
we gotta wind
He's
the
like,
scope.
it's not cheating. She's a fairy.
She opened his wallet and he only had pictures of him with other dogs.
I don't even know what she's got down there. It could just be like a white pasty abyss. Who's to say?
I will say, so if I shrink down, and I'm a logger, and I shrink down, and the fairies are clearly really mad at me for that, I would. He did make the right move of pretending that he's not a logger.
Right. So also we have to also preface that he was full on eaten in his first 2 seconds of being small.
That's a good point.
So he should be absolutely horrified. He
This
was
guy's
like,
crazy.
yeah,
inside
he's
of someone.
adjusting so well to his circumstances.
And then he got spit out and immediately was like, yo, I don't have to leave so fast, baby.
he's
He's like,
just
wait, hold up.
I could say.
he's a chemistry guy. You throw that guy in the locker room and he's just gonna gel with
Yeah.
everything. He's the Ringo Starr of
Great
humans.
vibe.
Just
Right.
he's just of all vibe. Just like I'm just here for the ride, man.
The animation was beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I think so. We were talking about it while watching it, but like kind of the stagnant, almost oil painting backgrounds that
Yeah.
they have are
Really
like
beautiful.
really, really beautiful. That are just like so hyper detailed.
The way time is spent in this movie, like you said, there's a lot. You know, it's not trying to be super funny. It's not all like huge like comedic set pieces. There's the songs, but then also a lot of time is taken up by like just focusing on the art.
Yeah.
Like these long sequences that are entirely visual of like nature, like healing.
Yeah, because
Growing.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of kids that have never seen a forest.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of kids living in this city right now that have never seen a forest and might not ever.
It's made with like an artist's eye. Like, you know what I mean? Like
So they're trying to make you fall in love with the forest as its own character so that the destruction hits you so fucking hard. I mean, this is one of the scariest
I was
movies
actually-
even today. Like watching a fucking oil spill is terrifying. Watching this is even more terrifying. You can feel the pain in the plants and things like that. I think that really resonated with me. Also, like roadkill fucks me up mentally, and they show a lot of scenes where the animals are running away in absolute terror from the animal's perspective, like down low. I don't see anything like that. Like usually when you see something that's really heartbreaking about the environment, it's very much like you're looking through a camera. You can feel that you're looking through a camera. They don't put it from the perspective of the animals really low to the ground, racing through the forest like in absolute terror. That part, it makes you empathize with the creatures and with the plants in a way that like,
what if I was small?
right, what if I was small?
Well, the way they draw the big bulldozer thing at the end that comes through is horrifying.
Right.
And our Tim Curry guy, what's his name?
Hexxus.
Yeah, how he just kind of like is
Hexxus.
this cloud over it as it's coming in, destroying the
Yeah,
forest.
he's
You know-
amorphous. He's
You
like
know what I will say? I love his character design. It's so fucking
Yeah.
cool. Even as just like a gaseous being, they still couldn't stop that jawline. That jawline
Right.
does not fucking quit.
Yeah.
I
No.
think he's the MVP of the movie. I think
yes.
Robin gets completely overshadowed here, unfortunately. Like
Tim Curry, he just does everything. Tim Curry's the fucking best. He's the greatest voice actor ever, man. He's the best.
yeah, he owns the design of the he's in goo form.
yeah, he's
is
both liquid
phenomenal.
and solid, and Tim is doing a voice that sounds like a liquid is doing a voice.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yeah,
It's
and like
so good.
the cadence of his delivery, of his line delivery, goes with the movement of the blob. It's like in the same sort of rhythms.
It's called method.
I think I'm gonna do like a Tim Curry watch through very soon. I just recently rewatched Rocky Horror. I mean, I've seen Rocky Horror like 100 times, but because of Meatloaf passing away, threw on Rocky Horror the other day, and it's like, oh, is Tim Curry just like the greatest actor of a generation? Like, he's just the best, man.
Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this exclusive video highlight preview of our FernGully, The Last Rainforest podcast episode, which you can check out the full audio only version on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. You can check out those links in the description below, as well as our website, weboughtamike.net, our social media handles where you should follow us. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and let us know if you enjoyed this little highlight preview video and what you thought of the film if you've seen it. Stay tuned for next week as we continue our Robin Williams series with Aladdin. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, we love you. Bye-bye.
Slime up above. Ooh, you love my toxic love.